Hi, I'm Jess from Peak and I'm here today to talk about running. I don't know about you guys, but my exercise options are reduced, so who here is running more than they normally are? Definitely me. I also know that we see more runners with injuries than any other exercise related injury in our clinic. And the thing that we know about running is that when people are most vulnerable to injury is when there's a sudden increase in volume of running. So I've got my top 3 tips to keep you out there and running, keep you healthy, whilst staying injury free. So number 1 is don't increase the amount you're doing too quickly. Be smart about it. So small increments are what's best for you. I know it's tempting now that you're doing more to maybe increase your distance a lot, or to suddenly go from running once a week to running several times a week. Don't do it. Or if you're going to, do it in small amounts. If you need some advice about what an appropriate increase would be, feel free to reach out. This is what I do. I help people with their increases so that they can keep running healthily and safely. So don't do too much too quickly. Number 2 is don't do it every day. Recovery is just as important as the actual exercise itself, and recovery is what allows the tissues, the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments to repair, to rebuild, to adapt and to get stronger. So you don't have to do nothing, but just mix up what you're doing. Do something different on the days between your runs, so that you're not just out there doing the same thing over and over again. Which brings me to my 3rd tip. Running is super repetitive. You're doing exactly the same movement again and again and again and again and again. And that's why running is such a kind of a high injury rate. So the way around this is to mix up what you're doing on your runs. Don't just do exactly the same route at the same pace every time. Try some intervals. So do some faster pace with some slower pace, or with some walking in between, because we actually use different techniques for different speeds of running. So if you mix up between sort of your jog, your run and your sprint, that changes the way that you're actually loading the tissues. Which is like a little holiday. I know it doesn't sound like a holiday, but it's like a little bit of a holiday for your muscles and your tendons. Or throw in some hill training. Running up and down a hill is very different than running on a flat. Or if you're lucky enough, go off-road somewhere. So if you're on a softer surface, some thick grass or a rocky gravelly trail, again it changes the way that your body loads, so you're not doing exactly the same thing every time, so it mixes it up. And there you have it. That's my top 3 tips for getting out there, keeping on running and staying healthy and injury free. So number 1 is don't do too much too quickly. Number 2 is don't do it every day. And number 3 is mix it up. If you're already a bit unstuck with injury, feel free to reach out. I love running and I love chatting about running. So I'm more than happy to help people out. Otherwise, all the best.